guys, it's Elijah Kente, your urban herbalist, and we are back with another study on pterostilbene. But this time we're going to be looking at uh, glioblastoma as well and its synergistic approach. I'm sure most people know what glioblastoma is, and if you don't, it is one of the most deadliest brain tumors you can have. I think John McCain had it, Ted Kennedy, and even um, President Joe Biden's son, Bo, had it, and I think he died at an early age, 46. I'm not sure on that, so don't quote me, look it up. Glioblastoma. We will not be reading this whole thing. We'll read a little bit out of it, but it is 16 pages, and I will attach a link to the end of this video so you can go and check it out yourself. We'll check out a couple images, some of the graphs, and we'll just go from there. So glioblastoma multiforme is one of the most common malignant primary tumors in adults. Addressing the shortage of effective treatment options for this cancer, we explore the repurposing of existing drugs into combination with potent activities against GBM cells. We report that phytoalexin pterostilbene is a progenitor of two drugs with previously reported anti-GBM activities, the EGFR inhibitors gefitinib and the antidepressant sertraline. Combinations of either of these two compounds with pterostilbene suppress cell growth, viability, sphere formations, and inhibits migration in tumor GBM cells cultures. The potentiating effects of pterostilbene was observed to a varying degree across a panel of 41 patients, derived GCs, and correlated in a case-specific manner with the presence of missense mutations of EGFR and PIK3CA, and the focal deletions of chromosomal region of the chromosomal region 1p32. Pardon me. We identified pterostilbene-induced cells arrest synergistic inhibition of MAPK activity and the introduction of thyrodoxine interaction protein as a possible mechanism behind pterostilbene effects. Okay, so our results highlight a non-toxic stilbenoid compound as a modulator of anti-cancer drug response and indicates that pterostilbene might be used to modulate two anti-cancer compounds in a well-defined set of GBM patients. Now, when I hear the word stilbenoids, I always kind of think of TSOIs, and it works with some nanoparticles of pterostilbene. I think they're called nanostilbenes. So there's another reason why you want to go back and check out Quadramune. All right, let's look at the introduction here. The dismissal outcome of glioblastoma patients with current therapies strongly motivates the exploration for new therapeutic approaches. Amounting evidence suggests that GBM cells can be inhibited by synergistically acting pairs of compounds, such as tricyclics, antidepressants, together with inhibitors P2Y receptors, family of progenic G protein couple receptors, or antidepressant with Cigna receptor inhibitors. Such repurposed combinations of approval drugs offer a faster route to clinical evaluation and therefore is a priority objective to determine which pathways are relevant for combinatorial targeting of GBM. Furthermore, the fact that GBM tumors exhibit molecular heterogeneity prompt the question to what a degree transcriptional subtypes of GBM might affect drug and drug synergy, and if there are safe compounds that can significantly potentiate existing drugs in well-defined subsets of GBM patients. Okay, so pterostilbene, trans-3 thimethoxy, hydrostilbene is a chemical classified as a stilbenoid and biologically has a photoalexin, which is a class of low molecular weight compounds synthesized by plants as part of an antimicrobial defense. Again, there is no reports of toxicity. And again, it is, if you forgot about pterostilbene, it is found in natural berries. Most likely, blueberries is one of the things that it's found in. Okay, let's keep looking down here. So the evaluations rodent cancer model has shown that pterostilbene can suppress the progression of experimental colon and liver cancer. In a model colon cancer, pterostilbene suppressed beta and cyclin D1 in the colon cancer tumor samples. All right. Okay. Again, the investigation was with pterostilbene and gefitinib and sertraline. And studies of pterostilbene in the brain cancers are limited to previous studies from our lab, and one recent publication showing that pterostilbene suppressed self-renewal. And right here, so let's go down and kind of see what they're talking about, because there's a lot to read here. Investigating drug interaction in cell from 41 different patients. Okay. And then what they did was ask if PS and PG synergy would be consistently observed across a large sample of GC culture from different individuals. And it says we thus measure the response to PS and PG across the extended set of 41 patients, derived from GC cultures from human uh, glioma cells cultured. All right, let's see here. Using an innovative protocol, we evaluated each drug at 11 individual doses and further evaluated PS and PG pairs at 11 different doses in a fixed ratio. Okay. And indicating the function interaction consistency with synergism. Moreover, the means of CI was below 1, 0.65, and 0.7 for PS and PG respectively. So let me zoom in a little bit here. So you can see the effects of pterostilbene and sertraline at 24 hours, and then again over here at 48 hours, and you can completely see the difference in the spreading. Definitely has some efficacy that, as you can see here in these tests. Gefitinib, pterostilbene, and again 24 hours and 48 hours. Let's kind of look down here. The cell growth after drug and drug pair treatments. You can see the huge drops. So it does definitely shows that pterostilbene will help decrease with brain tumor growth. And we gotta, let's see more here. What does it say down here? Let me shrink it in. Sorry about that. The combination of pterostilbene with sertraline or gefitinib suppresses uh, glioma cell growth. 72 hours of sertraline and gefitinib and pterostilbene. Okay, so you can see the complete drop here. That's just some more proof that chemo can be benefited with when you add in more natural products. Definitely gives the body a more synergistic approach. So that's just one graph. Let me shrink it again so you can see a little bit more. Again, I'm going to attach a link, so don't really worry about getting all the information today. If you're really interested, you can come back and look at it. So pterostilbene induces drug potentiation, can be predicted in individuals' GC cultures. Okay, we next asked if pterostilbene induced potentiation of gefitinib and sertraline would correlate with either clinical viables or molecular signatures. So they did the CI, the IS, and you can come down here and look at the transworld migration on both charts here. You can see the difference right away. Here's a gliomasphere formation. So the combination pterostilbene with sertraline or gefitinib affect glioma, cell migration, and sphere formation. Okay, so that's the transwell membrane after treatment. Oh, sorry about that. Transwell migration capacity after 48 hours of treatment in a GC culture. Let's go down and see what else we got here. Okay, using the complementary method associated with CI with molecules profile, we applied a lactic regression with a variable selection to detect the molecular changes that will predict variations in CI. You can see here on this one, pterostilbene, gefitinib, and you can see the drops of what was predicted and how effective it was. And over here we got the interaction scores of PG and PS in all 41 patients. And down here we got the combination index across the GPM subtypes. Okay, measurements of pterostilbene induced potentiation across 41 GC cultures. A screening experiment was performed measuring 11 dose series of each of the drugs, both single and as a fixed proportion concentration for the combination of pterostilbene and gefitinib, and pterostilbene and sertraline. So basically, the combination of these three have definitely shown efficacy and help with one of the most dangerous tumors that we have. Um, and I definitely believe that we need to do more research on plant-based um, healing and plant-based medicines and add a little bit more to our daily lives in all capacities. Like some of these things just come straight from blueberries, so there's really, maybe just start eating a little bit healthier overall, drop down on some of the meats, um, definitely drink some tea as a herbalist would always say. And let's kind of just get back in here. And it looks like finally we analyzed if CI and PS and PG respectively was correlated with mentis somatic mutation of protein coding genes in CG cultures. I'll move that up here. So, basically it's like the DNA, the RNA, and then you get the protein, and then you're kind of looking at the mutations of each. So here's the evaluation of each case-specific RNA based on predictions of pterostilbene and sertraline combination. Again, you can see the results yourself right here. Always showing a positive use once you add in the pterostilbene. Okay. Predictive marker of synergy between pterostilbene, sertraline, and gefitinib, and glioblastoma. Glilo, whatever. Sometimes I mess that word up. It's a lot of big words sometimes. Not big words, but when you're reading this stuff, you kind of forget what it's called. And I'm no scientist. I'm a herbalist, and I mean, so some of this stuff is new to me, and I do love sharing it with you guys so you can kind of see the synergistic approach between herbal medicine and science, and how um, it is being used as one, and the journey is going on, and we're seeing more therapeutic approaches being used to help the patients. Like again, I said this will be attached to the video, so come and check it out. And if you want to know more, feel free to ask any questions, drop us a comment. Okay, right here you can see the EDU incorporation after 24 to 48 hours as well. Images of the cell cycle phase right here. And you can notice the slope as well. Slope distribution, combination results. Drug combination and single drug affect proliferation, and pterostilbene modulates cell cycle progression. So again, I'm Elijah Can your urban herbalist. This graph will be attached so you can check it out. Be sure to look into Quadramune, its nanostilbenes, and any other products that it has. Okay, look at this one. Told you guys there was a lot of information in this particular paper. Transcriptional profiling after treatment revealed gene expression to PS and PG combinations. Then at the bottom they give you the materials and method and glioblastoma cell cultures. You know, that is pretty much it today. Feel free to again leave me an email message. We do work with a bunch of other herbalists and scientists. Um, so feel free to ask any question. Again, I'm Elijah Kente, your urban herbalist, and that is all for today. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a good one.